Hey guys, Linda here. Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, thank you for clicking on this video. My name is Linda and I'm filming this video from Lagos. So guys, in today's video, I'm going to be talking to you guys about the struggles of being an entrepreneur in Lagos, in Nigeria, or even on the African continent. If you'd like to hear all of the challenges that entrepreneurs have to go through while doing business on the African continent, then please keep on watching this video. And if you're not subscribed to my channel, please kindly support your girl. Click on the subscribe button just right below. Also turn on the post notification bell right beside the subscribe button so you don't miss any of our uploads. So guys, without further ado, let's get right into this video. First challenge that most entrepreneurs tend to experience when it comes to starting a business or just leveling up an existing business is raising capital. Yes guys, like we all know, most banks or financial institutions, they find it easier to give loans to already established businesses that already have a huge portfolio and a huge asset base than someone who is just starting out a business, or someone who probably doesn't have their accounting records in good order. So in most cases, people who are doing business have to rely on borrowing money from their friends, their family members, or just selling off maybe existing assets that they have just to invest in their businesses. So raising capital is one of the major issues that entrepreneurs tend to experience on the African continent. So the second challenge entrepreneurs tend to experience is lack of access to low interest loans. So in cases where entrepreneurs are even able to access loans from banks or other financial institutions, you find that most times the interest rates on these loans are so huge, and in most cases, by the time you're able to even pay up the money which you took up as a loan, you find that you have to even pay ×2 the total amount in the process of paying your interest and even trying to repay back the loan. So the interest rates on these loans are so high that it some sort of strangles the entrepreneur's business in the process of trying to, it took the loan to grow his business, but in the process of trying to grow his business, his business also suffers trying to pay back the loan and also trying to pay back the interest rates on the loan in which he took to grow his business. So guys, another major issue that entrepreneurs tend to experience a whole lot, particularly in Nigeria, is electricity. God, guys, the third major problem entrepreneurs go through in Africa is electricity, because in most cases you find out that in a few African countries, especially Nigeria, it's such a shame that we still can't boast of having 24 hours electricity, because most times we now have to generate our own power. So you might either choose to use a solar system, you might choose to install a solar system in your house, or you could choose to buy a generator and also fuel your generator either with fuel or diesel to provide light for yourself. And even in cases where you probably have constant light in your area, you find that the electricity bills are so expensive because sometime earlier this year, was it last year, they increased the price of the credit system. They changed the system of the credit system, whereby if you probably were getting 162 units for somewhere around 5,000 naira, you now have to pay 10,000 naira to get 162 units. So it's now so much more expensive for one to be able to have lights in their homes and be able to use facilities such as your air condition, your microwave, because of course it just sucks up so much of the energy. So it's really expensive to do business. It's really expensive to have lights on in your homes and even in your businesses. Let's say you're probably someone who sells stuff like maybe frozen food. You always have to make sure your fridge is on to preserve this frozen food items. Or you're probably someone who does a food business. You have to have your generator running, and you might have to have a generator running, or if you don't have a generator running, you just have to always have lights constantly. So it's just some sort of expensive. And in instances where you probably don't have light and you probably have to buy fuel or diesel just to power your generator. This fuel and diesel is not cheap, it's actually quite expensive. So you just find that you're spending so much just to put lights in your house, just to have power to run your business. The fourth major issues entrepreneurs tend to experience is that people don't support you until when you are big. Yes, it happens a whole lot. Because oftentimes people tend to find it easier to support people when they're already made a name for themselves. They already have a huge following on social media, or they probably see, oh, this celebrity is wearing this person's stuff. Until when that starts to happen for you, people tend to find it difficult to support growing entrepreneurs. It's just very few people that probably someone that just likes you or buys into your personality or just likes the way you brand your business or probably the way you're passionate about your business. People that just like you for those reasons might choose to support you, but in most cases, when you are not big, it's usually difficult for people to support you. So it just takes someone who is persistent, someone who is just, someone is really set on what he really wants to achieve, to keep on pushing through, despite the fact that you might not be getting the patronage that you desire. So guys, the fifth major issue that entrepreneurs tend to experience in Nigeria is having to pay huge custom duties. Let's say I'm someone who sells designer clothes. I tend to import stuff from fashion. I tend to buy stuff from Fashion Nova, from ASOS, these foreign websites, and I have to, they then send these items to me down to Nigeria. So you find that in most cases, depending on the shipping method in which you choose, before these goods get to you, you have to pay a whole lot in custom duties. Because I remember there was a time when I still used to sell makeup products from various makeup brands like the Color Pops and some products from some other products that you probably get from Sephora and all. The amount of money I had to pay at the point in custom duties just made me stop buying these products, because it was so expensive. And then it's, by the time you now have to impute the cost of the custom duty which is charged on these your items, you find that the custom has already taken out most of your profit, so it becomes very unreasonable. It's some sort of it spoils whatever profit you're supposed to make on those products that you wanted to sell. So custom duties is another major turnoff that entrepreneurs might be experiencing, but definitely are experiencing on the African continent. This is one. So another issue most entrepreneurs tend to experience is having to deal with very crappy dispatch riders. Yes. I don't know if you guys have seen videos of dispatch riders where someone will order food and the dispatch rider is supposed to deliver your food to you. And let's say he called you, come and pick your food downstairs, and you don't respond. He's going to stay out there and eat your food. But then it doesn't happen in all cases. But in some instances, let's say you have a dispatch rider, he told you, okay, I'm already coming to deliver your item. You've been expecting this dispatch rider to come and deliver your goods to your customers at a particular point in time. But then most times they are lying, or they'll tell you that, oh, see, my bike broke down, or they'll tell you, oh, this thing held me here. These guys can just find a way to tell you all sorts of stories. So in most cases, if you have a business and you have to work with these dispatch riders, it's really difficult to find someone who you can trust to deliver your goods on time, or to even ensure that the goods actually gets to the customer in good form and it's not pressed, it doesn't look deformed in any way, shape or form. And then you find that sometimes when you send some items to dispatch, let's say rain starts to fall, the dispatch man might just leave those items out there for the rain to beat it, and by the time the customer is receiving it, the items look a mess. It might not be looking as nice as the way you package, the way you give it to him to deliver to you. So most people tend to have to struggle with having quality dispatch riders. Then what most people tend to do now is, instead of them having to outsource their delivery service, they tend to now invest in getting their own bikes and employing their own personal dispatch riders and teaching these dispatch riders how to handle their products so that the customer receives it in the best quality that they should receive it in. Yeah, so guys, the seventh problems that entrepreneurs tend to experience a whole lot is lack of qualified employees. Yeah, even for me, there's been times when I wanted to have a personal assistant, or probably someone who just helps me out to make wigs for my business and all. But you find that in most cases people are not willing to learn certain skills that could help take them forward. And even when you take the risk to even employ these people, and you probably start to teach them these things. Like, they're not willing to go the extra mile. Let's say you teach the person how to do from here to here. They're not willing to go extra mile and try to learn on their own how to go from here to this point. They will only stop at the point where you taught them, and they're not willing to go extra mile. And in most cases, like, it can be really frustrating. By the time, okay, you employ somebody, they're going to pay the person salary and all, but yet you still have to be teaching the person all that the person has to do. And even when you're even teaching the person all that the person has, the person is not even trying to, evolve, trying to get better, trying to improve his or herself. It can be very annoying. And then in some cases, you might even have employees that, definitely, most people just tend to work because they're working because they choose to take the job because they want to earn a salary. So it's not because they're passionate about whatever it is you're doing. They're just doing it because they want to earn, and not because they want to ensure that, okay, your business is actually thriving. But if in a situation whereby you're able to find employees that are passionate about what you do, they're willing to ensure that they deliver whatever task that they have to deliver to the best quality and standard that is necessary, then definitely that employee is a keeper. But in most cases, most people are just doing the job because they just want to pay their bills. They're not doing it because they care about you or care about your business or whatever. So getting good employees is a major issue entrepreneurs tend to go through. Another part of it is that most times, even when you get this, but even when you eventually get an employee, you train the person and the person tends to perform well. In most cases, by the time the employee sees another company that might pay the person better, the employee would leave you and move on to somebody else, because man, it's all about a better pay for them. Like, employees are not loyal, they're just all about what serves them best. Yeah. So you have to deal with the fact that you have to train them, and then the person might end up leaving you for somebody else. So you just have to just get used to the fact that, okay, you have to be willing to train these employees, and at the point they're also going to leave because they have their life, they have their choice. They're not bound to you. So it's left for you to treat them well while they are with you, and then it's left for the employees also, like, deliver to the best of their potentials, or while they are with you also, until they choose to, like, move on to somebody else. Not like they're just frustrating you, they're not doing what they want, what you expect of them to do, and every month they're telling you, oh, months don't end my salary. Meanwhile, you have to beg them to work when the month is matter. My months don't end, pay my. I had the domestic stuff like that. Man, this guy this guy frustrated me. Like, he couldn't do much. And then even when you tell him, well, you haven't done this, you're like, okay, I don't do it on this days, I only do it when I want to do it. Like, so then why are you here? Anyways, guys, let's just move on to the next point. The eighth challenge entrepreneurs tend to experience is lack of access to technology or infrastructural likely facilities to enable them that will help them in product development. So you find that in most cases in Nigeria here, we're not able to easily access, let's say, good quality packaging material or bottles in which we used to, like, package our products. So most times you didn't have to look towards countries like China, because there they are able to, like, make various types of packaging material. Let's say you're probably trying to pack a particular product, maybe it's a liquid product or something, like, there's so much technological deficit here on the African continent, and most times you don't really have all these factories where you see that they're able to, like, shape rubbers in a particular way or shape metals in a particular way. Most times you tend to just import all of these things from foreign countries, and it's really, really sad. I just wish that on this continent that we're able to go to a point whereby, like, we are able to bend iron to, like, just like let's look at the furniture industry, like, on the African continent. Like, why do we always have to import furniture from foreign countries when we literally have lots of wood here, we have lots of metal, we have lots of raw materials in which we can use to make these things? Like, we even have gold here, we have, like, all sorts of, we have diamond on this same continent. Like, there's so much we can do with the resources that we have here, but still we are not able to do a lot with it. We still keep on going to foreign countries to, like, mold these, fabricate various things that we want that would look that would look attractive, and it sort of makes the business, like, a bit frustrating. So I just wish that there could be more factories that are able to help in, like, the branding part of products, like the packaging, like exterior packaging, like how the product looks on the outside, and even other areas of product development also. Let's say you probably need a mixer to mix your product so that there's this standard consistency it has, so you don't have to deal with having to mix your product with your hand and various stuffs and all. So there's a deficit when it comes to like infrastructures available for product development on the African continent. And the ninth issues that entrepreneurs tend to go through is the fact that it's usually instability when it comes to like the politics and the economy of the country, because in most cases any administration could get into power, and the policies which they would make can literally just run your business out. Okay, let's say now there was a particular business that was in Lagos, Nigeria. The name of this business is Gokada. So this guy used to run like this Okada's bike business, whereby people could just like order these bikes the way they would order like Taxify or Uber, and this bike would pick you from wherever you're at and take you to where you're going to. I mean, this business was doing, people were really patronizing this business, and his business was doing so well. At a point, the government felt like that no, there are too many bikes on the road. Maybe they could use this bike to maybe rob people, or maybe the bike could just make insecurity to become more rampant in the states. So the government one morning made a policy and said no more bikes in Lagos, and that was how this man's business ended. So you just see that a single policy from the government can literally like just kill your business, and things like this tend to happen a whole lot. Let's say a particular political party leaves office, and then a different political party is now like the party in power. If they know that their opponent has a particular business, they can choose to make policies that would run their opponent's business like to the ground. So most times you just find that policies which government tends to make has a way of affecting business. And also, when in a situation whereby you find that there's a whole lot of instability in the country, people are not sure what the future might hold for the country. Just like the way the situation in Nigeria is right now, like most people just tend to feel like maybe this is not a country where they want to raise a family. Where they would like to raise a family, probably just have like think towards having like staying here because of the whole political instability here and the way like the government is being run and all. So in most cases, people might not be willing to invest here just because of the situation which is currently like going on and all. So this is actually another issue that entrepreneurs go through. Okay, let's say I have this business, I'm seeking for foreign investors. By the time they see the situation in Nigeria, your government is unstable, the policies, anything could happen. So definitely your business will not be attracting the investors that you need just because of the country which you're actually residing in, or the country which you are doing your business in. 10th challenge which entrepreneurs tend to go through is the fact that most times they really don't know how to run their business successfully, and they just don't have a lot of knowledge on how to market their products, or how to just make sales and increase their revenue and all. So in most cases, the entrepreneur might just know how to produce the product, but they might not know how to market the product. And it takes a lot of time for one to just realize that they need to, in as much as they know how to produce this product, they also need to be learning skills that can help their product reach like a larger audience. And this could just be skills such as learning how to market your product effectively, what platform should you be putting your product on, and then how can you increase your revenue to the point whereby you're able to have like budget for marketing, budgets for PR, like for giving products out to people who can review your products and all. And honestly, at the beginning stage, it's really not easy for one to be able to have like a budget for marketing and PR and all of that, but it takes time. But I believe if one is consistent and you keep on pushing and striving, at least with time you'll be able to grow your business to that level, and by the time you have investors investing in your business, you definitely get there. The most important thing is that zeal to keep on pushing, your persistence, your consistency, and then of course ensuring that the quality of your product is really, really top notch, and you deliver on whatever promise it is that you say your product is gonna do. Whatever it is you say your product does, you should be doing it, else people will definitely not be coming back, and definitely your business is not going to stand the test of time. So guys, I hope you got value out of this video. If you enjoyed hearing all of these points which I stated out in this video, if you think there are probably points which I didn't mention, please let me know in the comment section. And if you're not subscribed to my channel also, please kindly join the family. Click on that subscribe button just right below. Also turn on the post notification bell right beside the subscribe button so you don't miss any of my uploads. So guys, without further ado, let me leave here. I'll see you in my next video, guys. I love you. Remember, be bold, have courage, guys. Live a positive life. I'll catch you next time. Love you.